My name is Alistair Saxon, a dedicated and relentless monster hunter working for a secretive organization called the Shadows. Our purpose? To protect humanity from the terrors that lurk in the unseen corners of the world. This time, I found myself deep in the heart of America, called to track and hunt something far more ancient and terrifying than I'd faced before. A creature known as a Wendigo. The call came late one evening. My handler, Serena, briefing me on the dire situation unraveling in Yellowstone National Park. A creature known as a Windigo had been spotted, its presence heralded by a series of strange occurrences and unsettling disturbances. Hikers had gone missing, wild animals were found mutilated, and unexplainable howls echoed through the dark woods. For those unfamiliar with the legend, a Windigo is an Algonquian myth, a monstrous cannibalistic spirit associated with the north and coldness, famine. To face such a creature required skill, determination, and an unwavering hand. I arrived at Yellowstone a day later. The vast wilderness stretched out before me, teeming with life yet hiding a deadly secret. The park rangers, briefed on a dangerous predator, assisted in my initial investigation, unaware of the supernatural nature of the beast I was hunting. I made base camp near the location of the most recent disappearance, a remote and dense forest area that seemed to pulse with an unsettling energy. Armed with traditional weapons, laced with ancient runes and enchantments, I prepared myself for the battle ahead. The first night was eerily quiet. I patrolled the area, senses on high alert, the wind whispering secrets through the towering pines. There was something out there, watching, waiting. I could feel its hunger, its malevolence. Days turned into nights as I tracked the Windigo, following its trail through the dense forest, deciphering its patterns, learning its behavior. It was a cunning creature, moving with purpose, stalking its prey with a predatory grace that sent shivers down my spine. One night, I found myself near a cliff's edge, the full moon casting a ghostly glow over the landscape. The air was thick with tension, the silence unnatural. And then I heard it, a low, mournful howl, filled with a hunger that chilled me to my core. I moved towards the sound, every instinct screaming at me to tread carefully. The Windigo was close. I could feel its presence like a cold hand gripping my heart. Hours turned into a tense game of cat and mouse. The Windigo always one step ahead, its movements a shadowy dance through the wilderness. It was testing me, probing my defenses, learning my strengths and weaknesses. Then, it finally showed itself. Standing at the edge of a clearing, bathed in moonlight, the Windigo was a sight to behold. Its emaciated body towered over me, its skin pale and stretched tight over a skeletal frame. Its eyes were empty voids, black and soulless, and its mouth was filled with sharp, jagged teeth, stained with the blood of its victims. Its long, bony arms ended in clawed hands, and its legs were twisted and gnarled, supporting a body that seemed too large for them. Its head was crowned with antlers, a twisted mockery of the noble creatures it hunted. We locked eyes, the Windigo and I, two predators recognizing each other, acknowledging the battle that was to come. Its lips pulled back into a snarl, a sound that echoed through the night, a challenge, a declaration of war. I accepted. With a roar, the Windigo lunged at me, its movements a blur of speed and ferocity. I dodged, rolling to the side, my swords at the ready. Our battle had begun, a dance of death in the heart of the wild. We clashed, the Windigo's claws meeting my blades, sparks flying as metal met bone. I struck, cutting into its flesh, the creature howling in pain and rage. But it was far from defeated. It came at me again and again, relentless, driven by an insatiable hunger that knew no bounds. I fought back, matching its ferocity, my body moving with a grace and skill honed by years of experience. As the night wore on, our battle raged, neither of us giving an inch. The Windigo was a formidable opponent, its strength and agility a match for my own. We moved through the forest, our fight a storm of fury and power, the very earth trembling beneath our feet. I knew that I was facing a creature of legend, a being of pure evil, and I would need every ounce of my skill and determination to defeat it. But I was ready, my resolve unbreakable, my purpose clear. The Windigo would fall. And as dawn approached, I saw my opportunity, a weakness in its defense, a momentary lapse that I could exploit. The time had come to end this, to finish the battle and send the Windigo back to the shadows from whence it came. With a final, determined effort, I struck, my sword singing through the air, aimed at the heart of the beast. With a mighty clash, my swords met the Windigo's flesh, and I felt them sink deep into its cold, unyielding heart. The creature let out an ear-piercing scream, a sound that resonated with the agony of centuries and the fury of defeat. Its eyes, those dark voids that had once seemed so invincible, now filled with a terror that was almost human. We tumbled to the ground, the Windigo thrashing wildly, its claws seeking to tear me apart, even as life fled from its monstrous body. I held on, my grip unyielding, my focus sharp, knowing that this was the moment of truth. The Windigo's strength waned, its movements slowing, the fire in its eyes dimming. Then, with one final, shuddering breath, it lay still. The Windigo was dead. I stood, my body aching, my mind reeling from the battle, the weight of victory heavy on my shoulders. The forest was quiet now, the dark energy that had once pulsed through it gone, replaced by a calm that felt almost serene. I looked down at the Windigo, its body now a lifeless husk, its terror a testament to the power of human will and determination. It was a monster, a creature of legend, but in the end, it had fallen, defeated by a man who refused to bow to fear. I took a moment to pay my respects to the creature. Despite its evil, despite the horror it had wrought, it had once been something human. Its transformation into a Windigo was a tragedy, a perversion of nature that spoke to the darker aspects of humanity. I understood that, and I mourned what it had once been. With a heavy heart, I turned away, making my way back to base camp, my mission complete. The Windigo had been defeated, its reign of terror ended, and Yellowstone was safe once more. But my work was far from over. The shadows awaited my return, and there were more monsters to hunt, more demons to slay. The world was filled with darkness, and I was a beacon of light, a warrior in a never-ending battle against the forces that sought to destroy all that was good and pure. I knew that my path was a lonely one, filled with danger and uncertainty, but I also knew that it was a path I had chosen, a path I was destined to walk. I was Alistair Saxon, hunter of monsters, defender of humanity, and I would never stop, never rest, until the world was free of the shadows that sought to consume it. As I made my way through the wilderness, the sun rising in the distance, I felt a sense of peace, a calm that settled over me like a gentle embrace. The battle was over, and I had won, but I knew that this was just one victory in a war that would never end. The Windigo was gone, but there were more out there, more creatures lurking in the dark, waiting for their chance to strike. I would be ready. With a grim determination, I pressed on, my mind already turning to my next mission, my next challenge. The world needed me, and I would answer the call, no matter where it took me, no matter the cost. For I was a hunter, a warrior, a guardian of the light. And in the shadows, I would thrive,